Okay, this should be a tale of the Bosnian conflict, and today I'm gonna talk a little bit about checkpoints. Um, Usually, when you had checkpoints down there, it was either side. It was the Muslims or the Bosnians or the Serbs. The Serbs were the one you fear the most. Usually, they had makeshift checkpoints, and that's also interesting because usually when people do checkpoints, they build huge ones, but that's really not necessary. So, coming up on a checkpoint, usually the people coming up they would be shitting their pants because you had no idea what was gonna happen now. They had spread panzer mines across the road, and if you were given permission to pass, then them would just leisurely kick them out of the way. But you wouldn't know if this was closed off or you had permission to go through or if you had to pay a large sum of money. Usually that's how it was. You really had to pay to get out of there. So, or if you had your girlfriend there, then it could end very badly. Or you could become a prisoner and they would, by gunpoint, give you a shovel and then you would have to build trenches for them. So this was really, really not pleasant going up to a checkpoint. So how does these checkpoints work? Well, usually
There's a mine here.
they had boxes of where there's mines in it, and they had scattered them all over the area for incoming the other side of the large armored vehicles. Usually they had an armored personnel carrier or a truck or something facing the way you would drive up to them, just to a bit of show of force. So usually they had two or three men standing up here talking to you and pointing at their guns around and yelling profanity, usually half drunk. But the way they would secure themselves would be to have these three lines of sandbags where they could just hop in behind that, and that's it. Men, armored personnel carriers, and a line of mines. That is pretty much it. So this was horrible to drive up to one of these, I guess. But I don't understand why they chose to put mines out, because let's say you were a bit suicidal and wanted them to pay, then you could just do 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 do. Ooh, I guess I was lucky that time. But yeah, that's it. Tales of the Bosnian conflict.